Man, we just gonna go ahead and get started,
Let's
man.
do it, baby.
Yeah, buddy. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother Man.
The original, baby. Welcome back, y'all.
That's it.
Welcome
That's
back.
it.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Special edition. President's Day,
Mm-hmm.
and we decided we can go ahead and kick things off a little bit earlier so that you can, hang in there with us and enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Make sure your headphones good. You can hear everything good.
Everything crystal clear, brother. Good
Okay,
to go.
all right. That's good. That's good. Special episode. We gonna call this one right here, politicking. Politicking. You know what I mean? You know how they used to say back in the day what it was when you sit back and just sit back on the porch. You know what you was doing last night, man? We just kicking on the porch politicking. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's what today is. But before we get into that, I'm gonna do something old school style. How was your week?
Week was good.
Mm-hmm.
Week was good. I obviously, just celebrated. I mean, you can say what you want to say. Acknowledged Valentine's Day.
Right.
You can celebrate it, but
Right.
or whatever you want to use. If you don't want to use acknowledge, you know what I mean. Boom.
Ain't nothing wrong with celebrating, acknowledging, doing whatever you.
Absolutely,
doing.
no question at all.
Yeah.
Did that leading up to the weekend. Family, man, I had a great time, man. My daughter came home, oldest came home,
All right,
called me early in the week. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Called earlier in the week and was like, Dad, I want to come home and spend time with you.
Right.
And I was like, okay, whatever I had planned is canceled,
Right.
which wasn't too much anyway.
Yeah.
But and then the youngest, and my wife had to travel to Baltimore. Shout out to the Low, dance team.
Right.
Had to go to the Baltimore. I think it's called Nouveau dance competition,
Okay.
and she did good. She won 2 more scholarships. You know what I mean? Talking about my youngest, still doing the thing, y'all. You know what I mean? For y'all who used to see the videos back in the day.
Right.
When she was little, 3 and 4 years old, and dance. She's still dancing, still doing her thing. So, you know what I mean? Definitely want to acknowledge that. And they got back home, and all was well, brother.
That's right.
All
That's
was well.
good.
So I had a good weekend with the oldest, and everybody did well as far as the other thing.
Right. Okay. That's good. Yeah.
How
Right.
was yours?
Same thing. Celebrated. And didn't really go out to eat or nothing like that. I don't like going out to eat on Valentine's Day. I had this theory, and I thought I was the only person who had this theory. But shout out to my brother DJ William H. Clap it up for him. I was with him last night. We'll get to that in a second too, because it's part of my week, of course. But I feel like when you go out to eat on Valentine's,
Mm-hmm.
they rush. They rush your food.
Yeah.
Because they got people making reservations. They got it's a special night, so it's a big night for dinner. So I don't think you get the purest quality of what you would get on a regular Wednesday.
Got you.
Because I tell people all the time when they go out to eat,
Mm-hmm.
the places taste the best on their slow days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a reason why.
I see now. I never thought about it, but it do make sense. I didn't take it into consideration.
Right. Let me tell
Okay,
you.
okay.
Let me tell you how.
Break it
because
down.
it's part also like a conversation me and you was having earlier this week. Creators and business people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you notice, a lot of your restaurants have, it's a catch-22, but a lot of your restaurants have kids eat free Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
This special is Mondays only. This special is Wednesdays.
Yes.
Things of that nature.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's because that's the draw to get you in.
Yeah.
You don't need any promotions if I'm already coming.
Right.
So on the weekends, a lot of people like to go out to eat on the weekends because it just seems easier to do. You might have sat around the house all day. When you was sitting around the house, as you was sitting around the house, you say, you know what, I don't want to cook dinner tonight. I cooked breakfast this morning. We're going to go out to dinner tonight. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's, whoa. Clap it up for that.
Yeah.
Just Mike. So anyway.
Sound like it was breaking, huh?
Right. Yeah, she was on his way out.
Sorry, man.
Listen, man, but what I'm saying basically is,
Yeah.
in that, you know, these are your better days. Now, the only I went there and I've got, you know, like say if I go to just a Texas Roadhouse and I want a steak. I've never sat and said, do it taste better in the week? We don't think like that. You know what I mean? But I'm sure if you sit back and think sometimes, on the slower days, your food still comes out fast because they're not as busy, but it's like that person took pride. Oh, I get to make something. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
Right.
Cause yeah.
But some places, I can honestly say, their menus are limited during the week.
So, like you said, on holidays, I do think that they kind of, you know, they overschedule certain things, so they're trying to get you in and out. You got places you can go to where it's not a whole lot of traffic.
Right.
Say you finish eating, and you know, from the time you get there, food on the table is an hour.
Right.
Right, between eating it and everything. You got some places, if you wanted to hang out and have a cup of coffee,
right?
You know what I mean? You still talking a little bit. You know, on those days, you do get a better, in my opinion, quality of service because, you know, it's less to entertain. I think for the staff that's out there, the servers,
right,
as well as the greeters, all the way to the actual, you know, chefs.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Yeah, totally. But what's the quote of the day, man? So
quote of the day. Let's get into the quote of the day. The biggest mistake the biggest mistake is you think you have time.
Right.
Right? I'm going to say that again. The biggest mistake is you think you have time. Right? Let's clap it up. And that's by Buddha, the one and only Buddha.
Okay.
You're so wise, Baxter. Like a short miniature Buddha. Remember that on
Not the one to shoot the threes.
Yeah, not
okay, all right.
Not you talking about from around the way?
Yeah.
Oh, Buddha Coleman.
Yeah.
Shout out to BC, man. Ain't seen him for years,
you know what I'm
man.
saying?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know he shot threes. I didn't know he did. You know.
Yeah, not that
quotes.
Yeah,
okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. One of the biggest mistakes is that you know what? It leads me to this real quick about the whole situation with time. To think that you actually, I don't understand why people don't see the value in it, since it's the thing that you feel like you have the most control over, that you have the least control over.
Right.
And the reason why I say that is you know, as far as how we always recognize things, it's 24 hours in a day.
Absolutely.
So it's not like, you know, you get 27, I get 22 or whatever. It's not like 24 is the average. No, literally 24 hours is what you get in a day.
In a day.
And so because of that, it makes me really come to grips with what you just said the quote of the day was.
Right. And just to add on to that, because that was the actual quote. But after that, it says, I don't know if he said this, but this is what's written after this. Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. And once it's lost, you can never get it back.
Right.
So if anybody ever understands
love the fact of all of that. I'm glad you carried that out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because what that does is
makes
you change your mind frame. See, we like to do when people say they chasing a bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
But you know, a lot of people say you shouldn't have to chase it. If you spend your time the right way, it'll come to you.
That could be true as well.
Right. So, and then the saying, time is money. Right. So people will be saying that in the street, literally talking about the paper dollar. Mm-hmm. But the truth of the matter is, no, time is the real money.
I agree.
Yeah, like you can't get it back. Like right now, for 160 weeks, we couldn't get that 160 weeks back if we want. But we feel in our hearts. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We spend it wisely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's clap it up for that.
I get it. I mean, it's a dope breakdown. I think it's a dope breakdown. Mm-hmm. I think that what we got to remember, like you said, just with time is I believe the sooner you figure out the value of it,
right?
Because it's a little bit different for everybody. It's priceless to everyone, but the value of your time is different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's it, P.
You know, once you kind of come to the grips of, all right, I don't have time to waste. So that means that whenever I'm doing something for someone, with someone, or whatever, I always have to find a way to make sure it counts for me because that's the only time that I can account for.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So like time this weekend with my oldest daughter when she came home. You know what I mean? She put in advance notice. Look, I know my dad got a life like I got a life.
Yeah.
Let me let him know on Monday I'm planning to come home on Friday and spend the weekend with him, not until I go back to school on Sunday.
Right.
And that clicked into me to start saying, okay, cool, what we gonna eat? What we gonna do?
Right.
What's gonna be the time that we set aside just for general conversation and maybe stuff that's on her mind, my mind, whatever.
Right.
By the time we got here and we got together, it was cool because even though we had some options of things to do, the main objective was just to spend time together, and we did that.
Oh, okay. Right.
You know what I mean? She had me up Saturday morning. No, it was Sunday morning playing the Wii, 1:45 to 2 in the morning.
Playing the Wii.
Bruh, the Wii.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's funny you say the Wii, though, because you know what? People don't really talk about the Wii no more. But the Wii sold because of the interactions, right? Mm-hmm. That was the beginning of VR. And it's not the beginning but virtual reality in a sense. But now everybody mess with the Meta Quest and the Oculus and all those. You ever think about considering getting one of those?
Nah. It's not because I don't think that it's dope. I think that most of those things, I just, as far as the motion element of it, I don't think I could handle it.
Yeah, I got an Oculus at the house. It's not mine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter,
I tried it, though.
Yeah, nah.
It's not bad.
But I think it does. I mean, I've seen it being utilized in the engineering space.
Right.
Where they had people like, say, for instance, they wanted them to see what it would look like to build, a skyscraper or a certain complex or a office or whatever in a certain place, and they put them on and they look around and be like, yo, your thing's going to be here, this, that, and the third.
Right.
I mean, I've seen them. I wouldn't mind checking them just to see the element of what it's supposed to do. But to say that I need to have one or playing games, nah.
Yeah, I didn't buy it.
Nah. But we did enjoy our time with the Wii. It's funny. We played. I didn't beat her in nothing. Yeah. I beat her in maybe one game. Here's the thing. This is how dope time is, man. Right. The same games I used to beat her in, right? And I used to look at her to see, making sure she wasn't willing to quit or give up, but to keep fighting and playing.
Right.
I caught her a couple times looking at me because I was losing to her.
Right.
And she was like, Daddy, I'm grown now. I'm bigger now. So, there's certain things like, and I was like, I ain't going away. I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a cycle. So I'm just saying all
kind of like how we used to destroy Dops and Madden.
Right.
Yeah.
Where it would have been a point in time, like we could beat him in like Pac-Man or
in the beginning,
or something like that.
Yeah. But then he tried to play Madden with us, and next thing you know.
Peace, Unc. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining us.
Peace,
special edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, we bringing up some of the old stuff, but that was the dope part about it. Just speaking about time.
Right.
So okay, with that being understood, and us now knowing that we need to click more heavily into the whole value of time, brings me to a thought that I had earlier. You kind of touched on the subject for a minute, but it brings me to a thought that I had earlier.
Right.
The understanding of a target and a plan, right?
Right.
So I turn around and I say, E, what's your target? What would you say?
My target depends on which area you're actually talking about.
Like your professional target in life. Like what do you want to see yourself doing professionally? What's the target? What's the thing? It don't got to be the epitome of what you do. What's the target? Because targets change all the time. But what's the target?
Multiple. That's why I was getting to multiple targets. But let's say professionally, in this entertainment realm here.
Okay.
I would like to be, this continue to be a successful journey and see the heights that it can see, whether it be monetary, which is always a goal for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Because we see the type of deals that podcast people are getting, but this is not why we started. You know what I mean? We started it because we wanted to create this content.
Correct.
In my regular 9 to 5, I'm just continuous growth. I mean, I'm less than 2 months away for 25 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So definitely that's a short-term goal to reach that 25 so I can turn around and just eventually say, I served my time here. Mm-hmm. I'm moving on. As a DJ, 27 years deep, just keep going. You know what I mean? My mobile business to grow more, to be, in much bigger type of space and contracts that are certain things that I want to do. You know what I mean? Whether it be sound or add-ons and things of that nature. But just be more than just the DJ that everybody see. Just a lot, man. But just, I'm not going to use the word successful because we measure that ourselves of what we call success. But just, I guess if I want to measure in all professional areas, continuing to flourish like I've been doing. That's basically what my target is.
Yeah, I mean, I asked that question because, in general, when I had a conversation with someone and I asked them about their target. No matter who I presented that situation to, everyone has a target. Everybody don't have a plan.
Right.
And so, when you reiterate the reality of it, it is that every target has a plan. It's just whether or not you're acknowledging it, and then whether or not you know that you have to utilize that to get to the target.
Right.
Right. So I started to think, and I'm saying to myself, okay, it's easy and clear to see what I want in life, right? Whatever your list consists of, it doesn't matter. Like I say all the time, even the person who has a desire to win the Mega Millions, had to have a plan to play the lottery. Right? So that's one of them times, y'all.
That's one of his words, lottery.
So when you're talking to somebody and they wait, they almost hunt and wait for that day to come. When they can go ahead.
I ain't even say nothing. I ain't even say nothing.
Wow.
Man.
So the lottery players.
The lottery players,
right?
Yeah.
Even they have a desire to win, let's just say the Mega Millions, Powerball, whatever.
Shit, anything that day.
They have They have a plan to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it only consists of staying consistent and buying my tickets every day.
Right.
They come up with the strategy on how they make sure they're going to have their lottery money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which stores they're going to stop and go to, when to buy them.
Right.
The other things that they're going to do. I'm bringing that up because I want you to understand that even that level of expectation in life as far as to win the lottery.
It's a target.
It's a target, but it needs a plan.
Right.
And then you have to develop the mindset to be, in a position to execute that plan.
Well, that's what makes athletes the way that they are. They have a plan. They have a target of what they want to reach.
Right.
The plan is them training.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
But what gets even more deeper into their plan is what are they training on?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's a difference between what you may think is a weakness on you and what really is the weakness of you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because that's why it's easier to know when you're dealing with a certain industry and things of that nature. Like, let's just use Kobe Bryant, for example. If he kept getting, if he's watching, because this is what was so great about Mike, what was so great about Kobe, and what was so great about, I even say like a LeBron, right? But I'm gonna use Mike and Kobe because scoring was never an issue, right?
Okay.
Scoring was never an issue.
Right.
Neither was defense.
Right.
But these are the type of guys, because they're such born winners, that they want to look to see and say, okay, can y'all give me a copy of the tape of all the plays I got beat on, big plays that I got beat on,
Right.
or
the big plays he got beat on twice.
Come on, man.
He said it. He heard himself say it and ran it back anyway.
Nah, bro, I like that, man.
What? Oh, was it?
On the big plays are where I lost the battle.
Okay.
Whether
now where you got beat at. Where you lost the battle.
They got beat on. Paul.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right.
So where I lost the battle.
Look for that.
Whether yeah. Whether I got, stopped from scoring.
Yeah. What didn't go the right way.
Or whether somebody scored on me.
Right.
These where I dictate, and I think they would sit back and look, right? And I said dictate, man. Come on, man.
I didn't say it.
Come on, baby.
When I said it with my eyes, I didn't say it.
Yeah, you did. You said, right? You. I know why you like that.
Your mind is so locked into that. Now go ahead and say what you're going to say.
I know why you like that. So basically, man,
right?
They'd take the highest percentage of what it was and work on that. So if he was losing the battle to the left, he gonna work on the left,
Right.
defending the left.
Right.
If he's losing the battle, and I've never heard him say that. I just believe because if you look at people like him and Mike, they got better and better and better.
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily Mike, but even Kobe and LeBron, they started coming down lower with scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they wouldn't lead the league, but
Mm-hmm.
you'll see their defense rise. You'll see assists rise. You'll see, I'm sure it's a play. You know how they always got that stat underneath the stat. You see what I'm saying? Like, how many picks he said or how many little shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they really dissect and study and become one with their craft to hit the target. And that's what everybody must do. That's what your plan must be when you're trying to hit the target.
Exactly.
The thing is, goes back to our quote of the day, we always think we have enough time to start.
Absolutely.
You got to start now. Like, I don't care what it is, y'all. Whatever y'all doing right now, start right now at this moment. If you're trying to do a podcast, come up with some content in your head. Do something.
And I totally agree.
Yep.
Since we're talking about time, and like you said, just dealing with, planning and having a plan, well, we just happen to know a full-service event planning company for you guys. Give me the information, please.
Listen, whether it's your first or your 50th birthday, that 25 years of service, if not more, retirement party, or the day that you and the love of your life share vows to become one, let Front and Center Events take care of all of your event planning needs. Sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy the show, where they truly keep you at the front and center of it all. That's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there today and get that party booked. Back to the show.
Yes, sir. Front and Center Events for all of your event planning needs. Yeah, man. So, speaking of, recently just coming from Valentine's Day, because that was a little earlier during the week, I want to say this about Valentine's Day.
Right.
I'm not going to waste a lot of time stating the obvious. You should show your love to those who you love every day. We understand that it's a business. We understand that all those things take place. But the reality of it is that everyday love is needed.
Absolutely.
Everyday love is needed, right? And when you look at a lot of the things that you see, you start saying to yourself, what is the expectation and limitations of love, right?
Right.
I had a question for you.
Okay.
What matters more, right? No, not from that perspective. What do you think the difference is between, when it comes to relationships, between expectations and requirements? Then there's a reason why. After you answer that, I'll respond, but it's the reason why I'm asking you.
Requirements are much more important than expectations.
Okay.
Because one's expectation changes with history.
Okay.
I can only expect you to be what you've always shown me.
Right.
Because it's times in it, you living in life and you have, I just use for an example, before, of course, when I was married and I was moving around and single, shit. I was getting a representative in the beginning with some people. And then as time went on, they were no longer that same person.
Right.
Right? So that was generally me losing expectations, because I used to tell people I don't have expectations for you.
Right.
I used to say it all the time.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. Like, people used to always look at me with this face, how you ain't got expectations, this and that, and and it's kind of going towards what you're talking about. I said the reason why I don't expect things is because when it doesn't happen, I'm the only one that's disappointed. Right? Because most times when you expect things and it doesn't happen, that person, what you expected them to do, they never
Yeah.
expected to do. Some do, some not. Not every situation.
No, they different. Everyone's
and-
different. Yeah.
And everybody used to think I was crazy when I would say that. And then I finally seen a video with Allen Iverson saying the exact same thing I was saying. Now, when I was saying this, I didn't see that video.
Mm-hmm.
It's just our mind thinks the same with that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
What happens is you expected a person to do something. They never expected to do it in the first place. Because they do that, they let you down, but you're able to move on past it. A requirement is if you're not fulfilling what I need you to do,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's required for me,
Mhm.
this probably won't work.
I asked that question basically because of the fact that, like I was saying to you before, you got targets and you have plans.
Right.
And when it comes to expectations, I believe that these are things that are blindly out there. And if they so happen to happen, then I'm glad I was right.
Right.
And if not, maybe we have a conversation about how to find a mutual place in the situation.
Right.
Where requirements, like you said, are a little bit more, little bit more in stone.
Right.
It's a little bit more edged. Because I think both change as time goes on.
Absolutely.
Right? So what you require at one place in your relationship,
You may not require
you may
it
not necessarily require it later. And it's not because your thought or your energy or your interest in that has changed. It may be you have evolved beyond that
Yeah.
to the point where that's not even something that you no longer
Well, then your
require.
interests have changed to a certain extent. Yeah. Oh, okay. I get what you're
But
saying.
you see what I'm saying?
Interest-wise,
So
I get what
like
you're
say
saying.
for instance, a requirement is I don't know. My expectations, it's kind of crazy because they run back and forth with each other. But my requirements is a person to be honest, right? To be truthful with me,
Right.
to be themselves,
Right.
to be comfortable enough to speak transparently to me.
Right.
Those things probably will never change,
Right.
right? And you say that wholeheartedly when it first starts.
Right.
But as time goes on, you learn to communicate differently, and maybe some of those required things
Right.
change because other things have been fostered or other things have been created,
Right.
right? So I think that that's part of the difference in that situation. What were you about to say?
Well, it's funny because what actually gets you to that is time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And politicking.
Right.
And like we're talking about today.
Right,
And
yeah,
politicking, because as a politician, your politics change as time changes, your requirement changes,
Right.
and your expectations change.
Right.
So all of that stuff runs back into that. What we require now as men in our 40s,
Right.
we didn't require in our 20s.
Right.
Not all of it. You know what I mean? There are certain things that we just require now at this point in our life.
Right.
So sometimes I think that we overlook two of those major things. Like I said to you before, the difference between a target and a plan and a requirement and an expectation.
Right.
Because if you don't acknowledge those things, it's different. Now, the only person that I believe that you could ever count on in this world is you.
That's it.
Right? And because of that, we work on things from a different perspective. In relationships,
Right.
what I required year one, I didn't require at the same level in year 5 because my entire life was different.
Right.
Where it went from being, just the two of us to it's 3 of us now.
Right.
So the requirements have changed now because what you need to do for you and what I need to do for me also needs to fit into this box of what we need to do for each other.
Right.
So it's a little bit of a different situation. Leads me to this. Looking at an actual post. Don't know if it's accurate. Could be, whatever, clickbait, whatever they call it. It says something on the lines of a man divorces a woman after having sex in their relationship only twice in 2 years. That pause that y'all heard was about how much of that me and E could actually settle for. 0. None of it.
Once a year.
Once a year,
Wife.
his wife, I'm going to say maybe his birthday. I don't know the gentleman. Maybe his birthday. Did he have a right to divorce her, in your opinion? You are not the answer, end all, be all person. That my question to you: did he have a right to divorce her after only being afforded the opportunity to make love to his wife twice in 2 years?
Of course you did.
Okay.
Of course you did.
Okay, break it down.
But that sounds like a story that's true, but it was an arrangement. It almost sounds like
Wow.
a marriage that happened because people be out here marrying people for a check.
Yeah. Yeah.
citizenships,
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
of that nature.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey man, we gotta do the shaboinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it can at least look real one time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They do it twice.
Right.
Get the check,
Right.
citizenship, all this type of stuff. Now he's divorcing her because their agreement that they had that nobody knows about is done.
Mm-hmm.
But the headline want to take out they only had sex twice in 2 years.
Right. So you feel as though he was right to divorce her?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I said that he has the right, and I'm not. I'm just saying is that sounds funny to me. It may not be her fault. That's how it's written.
Right.
It could be just. It's legally we're married, so we're getting a divorce because, like you said, like clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting a divorce because what we wanted to do is done, which is help each other whatever way it is. Like I said, with all these different citizenships, money, things of that.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're divorced. But let's sell our story. I'm divorcing her because she only gave it to me twice.
Right. So I looked at a bunch of the responses,
Right.
and it was all over the place. It was funny though, because some people were saying things like, obviously she had someone else and all these other things. And we're coming off of Valentine's Day weekend where, it's one time of the year statistically that they calculate that a lot of babies is made.
Right.
And, when you sit back and you think about some of these things, like I said, as far as expectations and requirements, as we get older and our relationships get older and all those things, has your, without it being super personal, obviously, because talk about me, I don't care. But, you know what I mean? Has that requirement changed for you?
Oh, it can't be twice. It can't be twice in 2 years. Hell no.
Okay.
Yeah. But
okay. I don't think there was ever a time in your life when you would have settled for that.
But my requirement wasn't. I didn't ever have a number on it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Right.
Even in that question, the target is sex.
Right.
Remember we talked about that there needs to be a plan.
Yeah.
Now we don't know what else compromised this possibility from them having that interaction.
Right.
But one could turn around and say, well, what they're not telling you in this situation is that they were never happy.
Right. This is what I'm saying.
It
was never real. It
was never a real, or even if it was real.
No. They're not.
Oh, okay, real in that sense. I got what you're saying.
Not the sham
not
part.
fake or whatever. Yeah. I know what you mean.
They could at one point really loved each other, or thought they loved each other.
Yeah.
Well, was just in a high space of energy together, and said, "Hey man, I love you. Let's get married."
Yeah.
But then 2 months later, because I'm here to say that you said his birthday, whatever, like you was joking, right?
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
I think if it was only twice in 2 years, and now let me ask you this, because the way you said it, were they married for only 2 years? And then
I don't know.
Okay, the only reason why I say that, because if it was only twice 2 years, and let's just go and say that they were married for 2 years.
Okay.
It was the honeymoon.
Okay.
And one drunk night after the event. That ain't even no birthday shit, nothing.
Maybe. What I'm gonna say is this: it was a lot of different responses from different people. But what I'm going to say is that I think that sometimes we get so preoccupied with the target that we don't put enough energy into the plan.
Right.
And whatever the plan is going to be, I think that you should go into it understanding that plans change, people change, and situations change.
Right.
Now, there's nothing wrong with having requirements. I do believe that you should always have bullet points in every element of your marriage.
I do.
You know what I mean? I do think that you should always revert back to certain things and say, no, my promise is this, my promise is that, so on and so forth.
Right.
Because what we don't realize more than anything else, the reason why we don't reach a lot of things, whether it's targets or, the level of success that we want, is because we're only chasing a target, but we have no interest in a plan.
Absolutely.
And so I just think that's
You have to, like you stated in the beginning of the show, you have to have that roadmap to get there.
Right.
But a lot of people have the target because they don't want to put the work in between. That's why even with weight loss.
Right.
Okay, when a person's trying to lose weight, I don't care where you go, they're going to ask you, what do you weigh now and what is your target weight? They're going to ask you that.
Right.
Because they're writing you a meal plan, an exercise plan.
Right.
You ever see some of them links and stuff on Instagram, and they be like, "Oh, try this app. We can get you a free assessment right now."
Mhm.
And you start typing in the questions that they
Right.
ask. Are you going to with how active are you at work? When you work out, how many, how many moderate, or high?
Right.
Like it'd be like that. Like, do
Right.
you work out 7 days a week? Do you work out 3 to 4 days a week? Stuff like that. Once every week. Stuff like that. Because that's going to determine how long it's going to take for you to reach what you're trying to reach.
Mm-hmm.
So those questions are asked because that's how you create your plan to get to your target. So these are things that you got to ask yourself. Even when you're going after a target and you write a plan,
Mm-hmm.
what's your expectation and what's still required for you? What's something like, for example, if you're trying to hit a financial mark and you want to cut back on spending, what's certain things that by any means necessary you got to have it? Like for me, for example, if somebody say you got to cut back spending, okay, long as my bills is paid, I still got to get my hair cut every week. That's not a suggestion for me. Like I mean, a choice. It has to happen. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a requirement. But if I don't take that out, I still expect to hit my target. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you don't go with it.
Yeah. Nah, I just think that what happens, anything, man. Reason why I asked that question is because, there are certain things that are different. Yeah, we talked about it before, deal breakers.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain things that are connected to the reason why other things are materializing and things are going on in your life, and it's a difference.
Right.
Like I said, once again, we talked about the value of Valentine's Day, and the reality of it is you should be showing love every day,
Yeah.
right? Well, it's the same thing from the intimacy level, right?
Right.
Like, we talking, like I said, we different in our 40s than we were in our 20s.
Right.
I'm not saying as far as capabilities. I'm just saying from even the expectations or the desires that you have like that,
Yeah.
they have to be more in line with your current time,
Yeah.
right? So you may turn it around, like, for instance, me personally,
Yeah.
like if I had to, like, I ain't no sex doctor or nothing.
Right.
But if there was a certain amount, if I just had to put a number on it,
Yeah.
I'm cool 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's up my mind with that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Now, with that being said, I don't sit down and do the math and say,
No.
oh, January that number was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that we looking anywhere from, like I said, 8 to 12 times a month. We hit 4.
Yeah.
We hit 4.
Yeah.
And then
So-
you hear about this guy that hit, not hit. Wow.
Hey. Yes. Pause. Yes. Last week it was ball in hand, and this week
This week
the guy hit. Let's go.
He ain't do
That's
that
what
wasn't
you
what he was
said.
supposed to do?
No, that's what you said.
I did say that.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to
When
figure
did
out.
he hit?
The whole time, man, this guy been with his wife, man. Could be part of the problem. But no, truth be told, what I'm saying is that there's nothing wrong with having certain targets, nothing wrong with having expectations.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with having requirements and all those things. But just remember that the world, like you said earlier, when it comes to time,
Yeah.
it's always moving forward. You're going to have to adjust to the ways of the world.
Well, here's the thing. When you asked me, did he have the right to actually
That was the question.
divorce
Exactly.
her? I'm saying yes. They could have had sex every day. But if he's unhappy, he's unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they're unhappy, she may be
Right.
unhappy with him, and but he realizes that he's trying to fix it and it just can't work.
Right.
I give up.
Right.
That's why I said it doesn't necessarily have to be her fault. It doesn't have to be his fault. Whatever
Yeah.
it is, it failed.
Yeah. Don't think I could have made it.
Nah, I don't think I could either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you asking me, do I think in that 2 years
Right.
he was faithful?
Yeah.
Nah,
Okay.
not at all.
Now a lot of that came up.
Not at all.
One guy
Neither
said
one of
something
them
had
was.
me messed up. He said the guy did a bid without going to jail.
Yeah, he did.
I said, wow.
Yeah,
This guy did a bid without going to jail.
yeah.
Like, honestly speaking, bro, I don't even know how to. Like, we being grown men about this.
Right. Well, see,
Nah.
let me explain something.
Nah. Neither.
What makes sense
I
is,
can.
let's just say, sex is a requirement in any intimate relationship
I agree.
of that level.
I'll tell you, I
Right?
agree.
Boom.
Twice. Can I vote twice? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, right. But the problem is when everybody feels like, oh, you're more of it, because they say, sex addiction is real and all that. Oh, your sex drives harder. It just depends on the energy and what person gets that out of that person.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people in the world, bro, who end up with people that don't even have them at their highest peak. I'm not talking about the ending part, the target part of the actual act. I mean, like, energy wise.
Mm-hmm.
Because when that energy is high like this,
Mm-hmm.
it has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Even in places like this, the man made the statement. The guy did a bid without going to jail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how you know it's so important, because even in jail, some people
Mm-hmm.
go completely out of what they believe that they would ever do
Mm-hmm.
to satisfy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Right? Also, some people literally will go and please themselves through masturbation.
Okay.
And then you got some, bro, to just say, to keep my mentality right, I ain't even thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
And go years without doing any act.
Yeah.
But that's not healthy.
It's not healthy.
Physically, it's not healthy.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they have reports about that too. When men or women
Mm-hmm.
don't ejaculate.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good for their health.
Right.
It's literally not good for you. Like,
I believe you.
Not trying to be funny and
You
just
ain't got to be funny.
crazy, but it's not. So
It's definitely not.
it's a part of health.
Yeah. Yeah. So I agree with you on all counts.
You want to be pleasured, but it's really a part of health.
Yeah, I just think that, like you said earlier, there are certain things that change over the years of your life.
Right.
And when you get to a certain point, there are certain things that you just turn around and be like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cool. And then there's certain days you be like, I need to do that. This is a good, I'm here with it. Psychologically, we on one accord with one another.
Right.
But just to say that, just to be truthful, nah. Unless we have some clearly apparent. We don't live around each other. I've left the house. Different situation like that.
Right.
I mean, you talking about getting in the same bed?
Oh, nah.
Every day?
Nah, I get where you going with that. No, I'm not laying next to you. I'm not doing all, nah.
I'm not making it all about money, but we
Nah.
paying the bills together.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah.
everything in life happening but that.
Yeah. No, because that's a requirement in those relationships.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do that, what was the point?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
when you get married,
Right.
and you're talking about somebody fulfilling
Yeah.
all your needs, right?
Right.
However, it won't be 100%.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that has to be in the 100% category if you want it to be successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, like
Yeah.
you said, honesty.
Yeah.
You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah. Oh yeah.
And your personality, like, we have to be able to get along
Yeah.
and mesh.
That's right.
Because
right.
that's the formula for great energy.
Yeah.
We all got here through that.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, you're absolutely correct. And even in the grand scheme of relationships outside
Right.
of let's just say, couple wise,
Yeah.
just general relationships you have with people,
Right,
like
right.
my relationship with you,
Yeah.
my relationship with my children, stuff
Right.
like that. You get to a certain point where if I don't mean you well,
Right.
or if I'm not contributing to your greatness,
Right.
at some point or another, you got to start looking at certain situations and going, well, what am I doing here? Because I'm either giving you life or draining life,
Right.
right? That's what's happening. So when you look at the situation, when you're talking about just relationships in general, we all have to have targets and we all have to have boundaries, and we should have those too. But targets, we all need to have, expectations and what was the other one? And requirements.
Right.
Because if you don't, then that means that you're just kind of existing, and then you're wasting what? The main thing that we're talking about most of the time is time.
Time. Yeah.
So, politicking, which is the name of this particular episode, politicking is what we do on a regular basis, whether we understand it or not. Because
Right.
what you understand with politicians is simple. They're either trying to make things right for the people, in theory, right? Protect certain things, enforce certain laws, introduce other situations, all those different things that they're actually, they have high level expectations to be done.
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, I think we're politicians, all of us. I think we all politic every day.
We do.
Some shape, form, or fashion, we're all out here trying to politic our way into a better position.
Yeah.
At least we should.
Right.
It's just along the way, what are you willing to compromise if that's necessary? Or what are you willing to sacrifice or pay or exchange for that time in order to be the best one that you can be?
Well, that's what goes back to what we was talking about. To make the biggest mistake we make is thinking we have time.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And the reason why it goes to
when
that.
time has us.
Yeah, it really does. Because, we have a target. A target is a reception of something, right?
Exactly.
It's the reception of something.
Exactly.
So we want to get to that. We want to get to it as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
This is why people like fads.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can get you. You can lose weight up to 60 pounds in 10 days. Jeez, everybody running over there like what's the new crack?
Mm-hmm.
But what it really boils down to is, it's some type of plan that they have, whether it's good for you or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, we discuss how people out here taking blood pressure medicine to lose weight.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand this.
Or diabetic medicine.
This is crazy. Ain't that deep for me. I'm like, all right.
Diabetic medicine, I think.
But I know exactly what you're talking about. Is diabetic medicine.
Yeah, to lose weight.
Forget the name of it. And
Right.
even if I did, I probably wouldn't say it.
So now this is what made me think. People been taking weight loss pills over the years for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
What if we was taking old diabetic medicine and didn't know the whole time? If you was into that.
Wow.
Because when they want to give you everything fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without you really working for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We think that they're selling us a product.
Mm-hmm.
This is how crazy your mind got to really be locked in.
Mm-hmm.
They're selling us time.
Selling you two things. Besides, time is definitely the primary focus. The other thing they're selling you is the target.
Right.
They're selling you the target.
Right.
And I'm going to give you the target faster.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right? Which doesn't even have to have anything. It could be a placebo pill. It could be nothing inside of that.
Right.
Or has no actual value in terms of doing anything for you. But if I sell you that if you take this red capsule every day and drink 8 ounces of water with it, that you're going to lose weight and that you're going to be smaller, the minute it transfers from that pill into your mind, that you're going to lose weight just by taking it, you automatically start to lose weight anyway because your body recognizes that that's the target.
Right.
But what's the plan? And as long as you have a plan, which the plan for you at that point is what? Take the red pill every day, then I'll lose it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I asked that question, that's why I said what I said about target and plan.
Right. But you hit on the nail because at the same time, with that situation, you really sit and look at that situation with that situation.
Right.
If I give it to you faster, you think you got more time.
Right.
But what if what you're doing that's giving it to you faster is actually bringing you closer to death?
So
because
that's the case either way because we don't know when that is.
Right.
So in essence, I'm saying what you're saying. It could be.
I'm not telling people not to do things.
Yeah. No.
I'm just saying that's just a theory.
It is a theory.
Right.
Yeah. And it comes down to belief.
But either way, they sell each other because then when a person turns around and say, "Listen, we want you to take these herbs,
right,
and it's going to add 10 years onto your life,
right."
You're going to get them herbs because instantly it's going to add. You feel like it's going to add 10 years onto your life, but you really don't know.
When all they did was every great concept.
It just triggered your mind.
Every great concept comes from a seed. All I need is something physical, and I tell you that it will turn into that thing.
Right.
Then you'll take that situation faithfully with the mindset that it's going to develop into that other thing.
But it always, in my opinion, like you said, whether it be health, long life, more money faster, you know what I mean?
Every fast anything.
Any fast or slow, depending what it is. Like if it's telling you that you're going to live longer, that means in your mind you think the time is slowing down for you.
It's doing the same thing.
In reverse, right.
I'm planting it in your mind. You take this.
Right.
You're going to start thinking from a different perspective.
Right.
I'm going to start making these adjustments in my life so I can live longer.
That's the ultimate hustle, because a person to buy a product thinking that they need this product, but they really don't. They just need the thought, the plan, and the target. I get it.
So it makes you start second guessing a lot of things.
Right. Everything.
So that's why I say what I say all the time. I told you I've asked that question.
Right.
To quite a few people. You know what your target is.
Right.
What's your plan?
Right.
And because of that, I'm trying to get you to understand from the concept, if you can see the plan, you already got the target.
And here's the funny thing about it. Is that truly the target? Because
Could
when you
be.
reach, because a lot of times when people reach the target,
Mhm.
they don't even realize it. And they still, because I got to do this.
It's still a target.
It's going to always be a
It's
target.
the target. It's just what it is like in any other things in life, targets move.
Right.
And when they move, not only, or they're accomplished,
Yeah.
and it's the next thing.
The next time, right.
So, but
That's-
you don't get to be by going unless you go through A.
But that's
first.
what I said about flourishing.
Yeah.
See, let's just use my life. I literally said 2 more years to 25.
Mhm.
Right? That means I would accomplish
My
target, right? 27 years as a DJ, right? I'm known as a DJ. I DJ on a constant basis.
Right.
Thankful, blessed, breathing, blessed, and booked. Like I said,
Right.
Very thankful
Right.
because I just appreciate it, right?
Right.
Point blank. Period. So I felt like I accomplished that.
Mhm.
That was this. The average person doesn't understand that I'm such a creating person, but it's part of like when me and you had a conversation about recently when we were talking about creators and business, right?
Mhm.
My target, I feel like isn't reached until I'm paid from it, until I start getting paid from it.
Which is fine.
That's because that's what, if it's something that it can become lucrative, I can't stop until I receive a check from it.
Mhm.
If that's really what I want.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And once you know how to get it once, you gotta get it twice,
Mhm.
3 times. You know what I mean? You get better. You might cook a dish for the first time,
Mhm.
right? I was good. Second time, that was better than the first one.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Third time, just the one. And then from the third time on, you know what you're doing.
Because you believe more and more in the plan. Every time it works.
Right,
Every time a plan works,
Right.
you feel like, okay, I can execute it again.
right.
I can do it again.
Because you got to
that's
have
what
a
happens.
plan.
Right.
That's just, all we telling y'all, politicking and explaining is, stop trying to think everything going to happen fast, because it ain't.
Well, the
Know
thing
what I mean?
that can happen fast is your mindset can change.
Right.
You can have a
Yeah.
fast mindset shift,
Yeah.
which will allow, like E's saying,
Right.
for you to then develop the thoughts that's going to make you do the actions that bring you closer to that situation.
Do you have any questions for me?
I would have to find something, to be honest. I don't have any just laid out for you now. So,
Merlin showed up.
yeah, I see.
Yeah,
I
he's
see.
here. He's here.
I see. I don't have any questions.
It's okay. It's okay. You asked me a
kinda
bunch
weird.
of them this week anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, you
know?
answered a pretty big one for me,
You know what I mean?
Um,
Oh, this is random right here. So we discussed that pretty well. Let's go ahead and clap that up, y'all, because
I think that was pretty good.
that was humble and deep. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to ask you. This is off the record. You think you're gonna watch this new football to start in March?
I don't have any. I have about as much interest in that as I did over last weekend, NBA All-Star Weekend.
Right.
About the same amount of interest in
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
I didn't catch any of it.
Yeah.
The time where I couldn't wait to see the dunk contest and all. I think the final score for one of them for the game was like 219 or something. Gotta look it up. Whatever it is. But no, I don't particularly have an interest in it. Not against it, but it may be very interesting. I mean, it's cool that they're giving, another opportunity for another league a shot.
Yeah.
But
See, that's what
Probably
that's
not
what
me,
I
man.
actually look at it as, because everything started somewhere.
if they're willing to sponsor the Porch podcast,
Yeah.
I'll tune in.
Yeah.
I'll tune in. Me and E will actually commentate maybe a game.
Right.
You know?
We would. We would. We'll do it. No, we'll do it like the Manning brothers.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That'd be
And
interesting.
anybody who needs promo, anything of that nature, just holler at us, man. We would definitely shout you out
Absolutely.
right here on the Porch Podcast. Different promotional packages and things available. So just holler at us, man, if that's what you need. But I was just curious, man, because that new football is coming in. I don't know if I'm tune in, depending what time the games come on. If I'm up and I ain't doing nothing and I cut on, you might meet the next Mookie Blaylock in there or something, man. You know what I mean?
You never know. Like
Yeah.
you said, you never know. It's
He
one.
played basketball. That's what's crazy. And I'm talking about in the football world.
You see what the score was?
What's the score? Was
211 to 186, man. The East won. 211 to 186. You wonder why I don't watch the NBA All-Star game, man?
I know why, man.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Not sorry. Because I actually got the chance to see these things back in the day when they were a little bit more competitive.
Right.
And I didn't mind watching it. So, no. Right now, my focus is I'm enjoying actually the offseason from the NFL. It's allowing me to catch up on a lot of different other things. I mean, to tell you this, you seen it the other day. We was talking about it, man. We got to talk about raising Canaan and all of that. But
Right.
Joey Badass's dad canceled his Star subscription after his son supposedly got killed off the show.
Yeah, I thought you knew that already.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that. But
I'm sorry.
no, it's all good. I hadn't. But I just
know
felt
that.
like that was funny to me. You know what I'm saying?
I know where the misconception came at. Where I thought you seen it.
Okay.
I seen it, and I thought I sent it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I said Sasha Penn,
Talked about it.
showrunner.
Yeah.
He posted that.
Yeah. Got you.
Yeah,
Got you.
he did that. Yeah, and he
Got
said
you.
glad to have him back as a fan, back as a subscriber. Yeah, that was on that page. You see my man, the same page when he was the one shared my man Ryman.
Yo, yeah, he nasty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he broke down mad episodes like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, look, man. I mean, I don't know what kind of time we looking at here. I mean, it's a beautiful.
Nah, listen, we at where we at, and we love y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I wanted to say this before we got ready to get up out of here once again, man. When it comes to the situation, talk about time and what your expectations and requirements and all those things are. Just to reiterate it once again, it's good to have all those things, but understand those words and what they mean, and look a little deeper into ourselves. Right? Talked about relationships and love and expectations, and I believe that you should have certain requirements that should be, bullet points and things that just stay place and standard in your life. But I think that needs to go across the board for you, even as you grow and develop.
Right.
You know what I mean? The deepest person that you should know should be yourself.
Right.
It's so easy for us to look at this social media stuff and be able to see things that are false realities. We'll turn around and we'll buy head and shoulders into that situation. We'll go right into it believing it's all
Right
real.
head.
That's definitely one. And shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what you said.
That's big time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right there.
Big time.
I don't know
Damn.
what that would be,
Yeah. Damn,
But
big
then,
time.
It usually costs you an arm and a leg. I'm trying to give you shoulders and head.
Oh,
That's
that's one. That's super one.
Pause.
Yeah.
That's not one. That's
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
but anyway, what I wanted to say just in closing on this
Shoulders.
before we get out of here.
Damn.
is once again, look beyond the shallow surface of what you see. We all politicians.
Absolutely.
We all politicians, and we politic in each and every day. You know what I mean? So if you're going to be one, because you are, be the best. E, what you got for him, man?
Hey, man, I got what I always got. You can catch us on all your favorite podcast and streaming sites, things like iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Studio, Radio Public, Red Circle, Audible, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. P, tell them where they can see our faces at, please.
You can catch us on YouTube the following day,
Yeah.
generally around 7 p.m. If you haven't subscribed already, please click the subscribe button. You know what I mean? Click that like button, share it. You can see us live on Monday, generally between, I would say, 8 and 8:15-ish Today was a different thing. We had a little special episode, so if there is something that changes or it's going to be a different time, we give you guys a little bit of an advance notice. Other than that, we appreciate you guys tuning in. However you've been doing it, each and every week, rocking out with your favorite brothers from the porch. This has been episode number 160, Politics, or Politic-in.
Politicking.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
All right.
Peace.